were, you know how Palmer says, we teach who we are. And I think in this case, I would say we often research who we are. So I am a refugee woman teacher from Yugoslavia. So it was an inspiration for me to go back as a cultural insider, outsider at the same time, and learn more so about our stories. So the recent questions were, what are the experiences, transitions, and professional identities of refugee women teachers from Yugoslavia who immigrated to Canada during and after the war in the country, meaning between 1993 and 1998. Also, how have race, class, education, gender influenced their experiences in addition to refugeehood? So I was looking into intersectionalities of their experiences. And the third question was, how have government agencies and educational authorities facilitated or hindered these women's professional integration in the country and their goals to continue in their profession? So I did a literature review, and it wasn't challenging to do that because there were not many articles that I was able to find about refugee women teachers. So I found a lot about refugee women, immigrant teachers, immigrant women teachers, immigrant women, and so on. But of course, you know that there are differences between refugee and immigrant women. And that's why I went and tried to kind of learn it all and kind of bring them together and learn more about what is there about refugee women teachers. And as you know very often, and as we heard from our panelists before, like 10 minutes ago, it is when we think about refugee women or read about refugee women, very often we hear these words about being victims of rape, violence, mental disorder, being uneducated, being a professional, being from nowhere, being saved, you know, all those things. So I really wanted to learn more about that. So to do that, as Christine mentioned, I kind of wanted to do feminist research because, you know, about women, with women, for women. But I was looking into transnational feminist research, although I started with post-colonial studies. And people might ask, so why did you change? Because to me, very often, immigration reminds of colonization, or maybe it is a different form of colonization. But we don't think about immigration that way very often. I also, you know, many people will say, yeah, but why are you talking about post-colonial? Your skin is white. Is it? You know, the women who participated in my study were racialized in Canada because they are women who came from Eastern Europe, non-Western Europe, Laura. Women who came from the Balkans. So there is all this, again, difference. And one of my participants said, I walked my participants and asked them, do you think that you kind of did what you did and had some successes because you are a white woman? And one of them said, no, I'm not Anglo-Saxon white. And that's different. So there are different shades of white as well. And for me, one of my colleagues who is native to this land, he told me that my skin is not olive. It's not white, it's olive. So you know, we come to this from different perspectives. It's not Anglo-Saxon white. So and another thing that really pulled me to transnational feminism, the transnational part, thank you, is I don't want to be stuck in an in-between Baba's place, between two cultures. Is there more than that? Am I not three cultures, rather than stuck in between two cultures? Because I have my Yugoslav knowledge, I have my Canadian knowledge and education. So just to try to play with this. And I had 19 individual in that 2 to 3 hours long with 9 Refugee teachers and a Canadian born woman principal. 2 individual interviews with myself. Actually, my colleague interviewed me because I wanted to learn more about my own prejudices and biases before I started interviewing. 2 focus group conversations, 1 in Quebec and 1 in Ontario. So I did that in 2 provinces, through North Reflexive Journal. So this is a message to Canadian government from the participants. And I have to say as well, I used collective narratives, transnational feminist principles, and narrative inquiry. I also created collective narratives, but also transcript poems. And I interviewed in Serbian and English. And also my dissertation is bilingual in that way. And I will read this in Serbian or Serbo-Croatian, and you can read it in English if you want. Poruka kanadskoj vladi. Potencijal stigne pa se izgubi. Milijuni dolara kroz prozor bačani. The ministry work is too broad. I blame the school board. Ne trebaju oni nas, nego našu djecu. Je li to diskriminacija, manipulacija ili puko neznanje? Baš šteta, neznanje je grijeh. So, some repeating themes. What did they say? Shelter is not enough. That's not enough. We are more than that. We know we can. We want to contribute to this society. We don't count. They want our children. Again, we are here for the sake of our children. And all of them said that, except me. I thought and I said and I reflected, I care for myself as well. You know, I want to learn and then move forward and be a role model to my children. I have 2 sons. So, and then one of them said, we are a gift to Canada, but our chances to teach are slim to none. So, we are a gift, and I've heard that already today. Key findings, something that I will say you today. Language proficiency in the official language is not salient in the process of settlement. Language for them wasn't a big barrier. Every language can be learned. Remember, they are educated women, university-educated women. They are teachers. They are lifelong learners. They can learn. Thank you. So, but what they can do, if they didn't believe in themselves, they could build barriers to their success. Their identities are shaped by their involvement in this country, and you can say, of course, yes, but very often they're viewed through where they're coming from, not, you know, as part of this country. And then very often they come from nowhere. And then the government officials serving refugee women often lack cross-cultural knowledge that they often attribute to them, that they cannot fit into Canadian society. Do we want to fit? Do you want to fit? Or do you want to have a dialogue and learn from each other and enrich each other, as Christine said? And they are competent teachers rooted in and stabilized across cultures, countries, and continents. And why? 3 of them are working and teaching at Canadian universities, although they came as refugee women. And some couldn't do that, but there is a potential. So maybe I should finish with this. And the point is, I hope as parents, as refugee women, we are not just necessarily evil. We are here to learn, to teach, and to live together, and not to tolerate diversity, but to develop new transnational ways of knowing and teaching new